Butterflies in Room 6 by Caroline Arnold. Read by Mrs. Brooks. Sometimes the children see painted lady butterflies in the school garden. The children in Room 6 are learning about butterflies. Their teacher, Mrs. Best, has brought butterfly eggs to school. In about 4 weeks, the tiny eggs will become beautiful painted lady butterflies. How does this happen? The children will watch and find out. Butterflies help plants grow by carrying pollen from flower to flower. Plants need pollen to make fruits and seeds. Dozens of butterfly eggs come in a little tube. Like many insects, a butterfly has 4 stages of life. A painted lady's life begins with a small blue egg. The egg becomes a caterpillar, then a pupa, and finally a butterfly. Stage 1. The first stage of a butterfly's life is an egg. A painted lady egg looks like a grain of blue salt. Stage 2. A larva is the second stage of a butterfly's life. A butterfly larva is also called a caterpillar. Stage 3. The third stage of a butterfly's life is a pupa. A butterfly pupa is covered by a thin shell called a chrysalis. Inside the chrysalis, the pupa changes into a butterfly. This process is called metamorphosis. Stage 4. The last stage of a butterfly's life is an adult. A butterfly is an adult insect. Mrs. Best puts the butterfly eggs into a large plastic box. Inside the eggs, caterpillars are growing. The children add some caterpillar food. After the eggs hatch, the caterpillars will crawl to the food and start eating. The food is a mix of all the nutrients that painted lady caterpillars need to grow. In the wild, they eat leaves. By the next day, the eggs are hatching. The caterpillars crawl out. They look like tiny dark specks. Each one is smaller than a sesame seed. The caterpillars eat and eat. Each day they grow a little bigger. The children spread more food on the bottom of the box. When a caterpillar grows too big for its skin, the skin splits and falls off. A new skin is underneath. A caterpillar sheds its skin, or molts, several times before it becomes a pupa. Each stage is called an instar. After a week, the caterpillars are about a ½ inch long. Mrs. Best gently picks up each caterpillar with a paintbrush and puts it into a cup. Small holes in the lid let in air. The caterpillars keep eating and growing. Now the caterpillars are 2 weeks old. One by one, they crawl to the top of the cup and make a patch of sticky silk on the paper towel under the lid. The caterpillar attaches its hind end to the silk and curls up like the letter J. The next day, the caterpillar sheds its skin for the last time. It twists and shakes until the skin slips off. The caterpillar is now a pupa. It is covered by a soft chrysalis. Silk comes out of an opening just below the caterpillar's mouth. In a day or two, the chrysalises become hard. Mrs. Best moves them to a flight cage and pins the paper towel to the side. The chrysalises hang down, just as they would from a leaf or branch. Inside each chrysalis, the pupa is transforming into a butterfly. The flight cage is made of soft netting. When the butterflies come out, they will have room to fly and places to land. When will the butterflies come out? The children watch and wait. Each day they check the chrysalises. 7 days go by. No butterflies yet. When the chrysalis becomes dark, it is almost time for the butterfly to emerge. On the 8th morning, one of the chrysalises is empty. A beautiful butterfly is hanging on the net. The butterflies are coming out. Picture 1. Another butterfly is ready to emerge. Its chrysalis breaks open. Picture 2. The butterfly grabs the paper and pulls itself out. Its wings are wrapped around its body like a closed umbrella. Picture 3. As soon as the wings are free, they fill with fluid and unfold. They are soft and slightly damp. Picture 4. The butterfly cannot fly until its wings are straight and stiff. For an hour or so, the butterfly rests as its wings dry. One by one, the butterflies come out of their chrysalises. Soon, the flight cage is full of butterflies. The children cut up oranges and slip them into the flight cage. The butterflies sip the sweet juice. The sugar gives them energy. Butterflies that live outdoors drink flower nectar. The butterflies in room 6 drink orange juice. A butterfly drinks with a long tube called a proboscis. It is like a built-in straw that curls up when the butterfly is not using it. Butterflies flutter their wings and fly inside the flight cage. When they land, they hang on to the netting with their feet. The children wonder which butterflies are boys and which are girls. Males and females look almost the same. Usually females are a little larger and have plumper bodies. Painted lady butterflies have 6 legs like other insects, but they only use 4 of them. The front pair is small and tucked up behind the butterfly's head. The children look closely at the butterflies. They see that a butterfly's body is divided into 3 parts: the head, thorax, and abdomen. On the head are 2 big eyes and a pair of antennae. The wings and legs are attached to the thorax. A butterfly smells with its antennae. It also uses them to balance when flying. The eyes are actually clusters of many tiny eyes that help the butterfly see in all directions. The colorful scales help make the wings waterproof. The pattern is the same on each side of the body, making the wings symmetrical. A butterfly tastes with its feet. The butterflies are now almost a week old. It is time to let them go. It is a warm day and not too windy. The children bring the butterflies outside. Mrs. Best reaches into the flight cage and waits for a butterfly to crawl onto her hand. A butterfly cannot fly if it is too cold. The outside air must be at least 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Mrs. Best slowly brings the butterfly out of the flight cage. The children stand still and hold out their hands. Mrs. Best lets the butterfly crawl from her hand to theirs. At first, the butterfly sits quietly. Then it flutters its wings and flies away. Each child gets a turn to hold a butterfly. The butterfly hardly weighs anything at all. One by one, the butterflies come out of the flight cage. One by one, they fly away. Some of the butterflies land on flowers. Some fly up into the trees. Some fly over the fence and into the neighborhood. When painted lady butterflies are at rest, the pattern on their folded wings helps them hide. Painted ladies are fast flyers. Their speedy zigzag flight makes it hard for birds and other predators to catch them. Goodbye, butterflies! For the next few weeks, the butterflies will feed on flowers, find mates, and lay eggs. When the eggs hatch, the caterpillars will grow into new butterflies. Perhaps, in a month or so, the children in room 6 will find more painted ladies spreading their wings and sipping sweet nectar in the school garden. That's the end of our story, but stay tuned if you would like to get the answers to some of your butterfly questions. Butterfly questions. Do you have to start with eggs to raise butterflies? No, most people start with caterpillars. You can order caterpillars and food from a supplier. If you find a painted lady caterpillar, you may be able to raise it by feeding it leaves. Thistle and hollyhock leaves are preferred. How does a pupa become a butterfly? Inside the chrysalis, most of the pupa's body dissolves and becomes liquid. It then regrows into a butterfly, using the liquid as nourishment. What are the red stains on the side of the flight cage? Shortly after a butterfly emerges from its chrysalis, it ejects meconium, a red liquid left over from metamorphosis. How long do painted butterflies live? They usually live for only a few weeks. If you raise butterflies, it is best to release them after a few days. How do you hold a butterfly? Let the butterfly crawl onto you. It will fly away when it is ready. Never touch a butterfly's wings. The delicate scales will rub off. What is the difference between a butterfly and a moth? Butterflies are typically more colorful than moths and have antennae with rounded ends. Most moths have thin or feathery antennae. Butterflies are usually active during the day, while moths are mostly active at night. A butterfly pupa is covered by a chrysalis. The covering of a moth pupa is called a cocoon. Painted lady butterflies live on every continent except Antarctica and Australia.